Hey guys, welcome to the stream. View Sports Talk starts in about 5 minutes. So if you guys are here, drop a like on the comments. Drop a like and let us know you're here in the comments.
You guys get anything on the OVO drop today?
Yeah.
Too much.
Hopefully.
Too much. I'm missing one.
so after
I'm missing the Bulls.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. Pierre got head to toe drip.
yeah, of course. I was gonna go for the Knicks jacket. I got the hat and I got a hoodie. I was gonna get the jacket and then I saw the price. I was like, ah.
That's so nice.
They're beautiful though. I mean, they're great. Those Letterman jackets. Whew.
They only did those for certain teams there, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, there's like
16s, I think, if I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken.
That's the first time ever I've seen the Canadian price match the American price.
well,
The hats dropped on NewYorkHat.com for 50.
At 50, right? And then on OVO it was 88.
That was the same price in Canadian.
Okay.
But then New Era refreshed the page and made it 88 after. I mean, they're already gone by then.
yeah, after everything was sold out.
Yeah.
So you might get a lot of phantom cancels.
Think so?
Or if they ever restock it, whatever. It'll be at 88, not 50, I don't think.
I don't think they'll restock it.
No?
No.
I really don't think they have
That many.
the right to
Drop it like that.
do that.
Oh,
that
to
way.
cancel it? Yeah. I mean, they should honor it. Oh,
I mean, we've seen
That's
other
the call.
places do
Smaller,
that. and not-
smaller places.
yeah, true.
That really probably shouldn't be doing that, to be honest with you.
Right. Yeah, hopefully they honor it.
I'm not really certain on the laws there around that, but I gotta be frank with you. I'd have a hard time believing that's allowed.
No, it's not.
It's almost like not honoring a sticker price in a store.
Yeah, it's essentially against the law.
Really?
It's the same as like when you go into a store and you see a price and then they got
Yep.
a sticker that's
Yep.
covering up with a higher price. That's against the law too.
Yeah. I remember
So I think like by saying that other companies have done it, I just think they're not in the spotlight like this is. This is pretty big.
Right. Yeah.
What are you gonna say, Kyle?
No, I was gonna say one of my first jobs when I was when I had graduate. Well, I was in high school, my senior year of high school.
Mhm.
Worked at Whole Foods, and I remember like Jason said, the prices. Oh boy, people will come complaining.
Mhm.
The tag says this, and this is the price. Why is that?
But there's also professional ticket switchers out there.
Oh yeah, no, for sure.
You know,
They got some good stuff at Whole Foods though.
Yeah, this whole check, pretty expensive as well.
Mhm.
It's not bad every once in a while though.
No, they got good stuff though. My spot is Trader Joe's.
Yeah, I got one right near me. Yeah. Trader Joe's is good too. I like Trader Joe's. And Wegmans.
Yeah, we don't go to Whole Foods too often.
I might go like once a month.
Well, Whole Foods has gotten a little bit cheaper since Amazon took them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. My wife will go there a lot for lunch. They have a salad bar or something there.
Yeah.
Like a hot food table.
Yeah.
Got a lot of good prepared food there. Yeah.
All
You
right.
gotta think those are some of the first things to go with COVID.
Yeah. I think they shut it down for a while.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
did.
definitely.
How's the game going tonight, Neil?
Well, it's it's about typical for what the Phillies are doing this time of year usually, but you know, it is. It's disappointing. I love baseball and I love my Phillies, and just be nice to see them in the playoffs a little more. But
That division is so attainable, though.
I love the race. I love the wild card stuff and everything, and the playoffs. I'm still in, even though my team is usually not.
Mm.
When was the
I
last
mean-
time? 2010?
Yeah,
So the Mets, this is fun. Spent 123 days at first place,
yeah.
And
Have a
they-
losing
and-
record.
and they will end up with a
I was
losing
at
record.
the game when we passed them.
I love
Losing
it.
record, and they'll be the first time in MLB history that'll happen.
Well,
Dude, when you look
making
at the
playoffs is
Groms-
like an eclipse.
When you look at the Grom stats, man, it looks like video game stats, man.
Yeah.
It doesn't look real,
Yeah.
man. He finished
Yeah,
with
yeah,
1.09 ERA.
Yeah, but also like I mean, his thing is, can this guy stay healthy?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's tough, man.
Shame.
It doesn't like I don't know.
Don't seem like it, right? I mean,
Nah, it doesn't seem like it.
just throwing 102, that's just not natural.
Nah, that's like it's like Wagner, right? He's a littler guy that does that. I
Yeah.
remember Roy Oswalt
Yeah.
used to throw at that pretty close to that velocity
Mhm.
with a little frail body.
Yeah.
You know,
Two guys
I should
that
say
were
little
here.
frail. I mean,
Was-
you know what I
wasn't-
mean?
Wasn't Lincecum a heat thrower too?
Oh yeah,
Like 97,
Yeah.
98. I don't know if he was ever like 102.
Yeah, but he threw faster than his weight though.
Yeah,
I
for
mean,
his-
Oh, yeah. He had like a really funky delivery.
So did Pedro. So did Pedro.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
about to say, how tall is Pedro? He wasn't.
Pedro's like
Pedro-
5'10".
Yeah.
No, not even, dude.
Not even
He's
you
a-
think he's smaller than that?
In his
Probably
tall
5'8",
Yeah.
probably 5'8", 160.
I absolutely love Pedro on MLB though.
Yeah.
He's hilarious.
Dude, I just watched the 99 inning, the two innings that he pitched just
Yeah,
for
it's
shits and giggles.
Yeah.
Dude, man, he looks so tiny compared to some of the guys, like Larry Walker and shit, and
Yeah.
like all these
Wire and all those guys.
Yeah. Sosa and stuff like that.
Sosa,
What?
Like last night, he basically said the umpires don't know shit
Yeah,
live,
Yeah.
live on the air.
I love it, man.
Yeah.
yeah.
Listen, he was always a character, man. I mean, he's the kind of guy that not only performed on the field but off the field. I mean,
Yep.
the dude is incredible. He's funny as fuck.
Yankees are my daddy.
Listen, man, he was a blast to watch.
I'm sure.
in his
He
prime.
was a great one.
You know, I mean, that's like can't miss baseball when he was pitching for me. I didn't care what was going on. You know how you usually go up to go to the bathroom or to get a snack when your team's pitching,
Yep.
you don't want to miss the offense.
Yeah.
It was the opposite when Pedro would pitch. I wouldn't get up when he was throwing, you know, and then I'd wait until the offense was up to go grab something. It was crazy. All right, so you guys ready to get started here?
Yeah, let's do
Sure.
this.
All right.
Get this down. Let's get this recorded. Hey guys, welcome to the Vault. We are back with another episode of View Sports Talk. We have Jason Mead, Pierre, Kyle, Neil, and myself, Leon, in the house. We're here to talk about this week's happenings in sports. So Pierre, take it away.
Well, we got a couple of topics to tackle. We'll end with the wild card stuff, but first, man, it's good to be back in the swing of things. I mean, we've had the Views channel is back to producing some content regularly, so we're gonna be hitting you all with content day after day because we got a lot of stuff in the chamber right now. But before we get into the hat stuff for the rest of the week, we might as well get into this good sports week. So two topics really stand out. We'll start with COVID in the NBA. So, you know, in general, we've got some players that aren't vaccinated, and that's kind of conflicting with some local and state ordinances around COVID and vaccinations and your ability to go into certain settings such as arenas and stadiums. And now it looks as if you're in one of those towns or cities or states that require vaccination to enter your arena as an NBA player, and you're not vaccinated and you're not going to play, you're not getting paid. So I'd love to throw it out there. So there's a lot of different. This is somewhat of a polarizing topic. When I first heard it, I didn't think it was polarizing, but then there are people on both ends of the spectrum here that are saying different things or feeling different things. So I'd love to hear from all of you. What are your thoughts on COVID in the NBA? and how these things are colliding right now.
Well, I think the big thing is I don't think any of us are gonna and I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, and kind of stand here and be anti-vax or that I am kind of, someone who got it, to protect myself, my family, whatever. So, when these millionaires kind of complain about not having enough information or I don't know, it's been out long enough that I think they should be smart enough to know what they need to do. I think the team needs to get involved. If it's Andrew Wiggins, he's right in California. They're right by Stanford University. Maybe get him some doctors to talk to make him feel at ease a little bit. But I don't know. It's so tough, right? Like, do we feel bad that he's gonna forfeit potentially $14-15 million?
Listen, that's his
salary?
choice. That's his choice. That's his choice, right? Now, I will say, man, there's some people that don't necessarily agree with you, Leon. Like,
correct.
That has been out long enough. I think there's fear and trepidation from some people. Like, hey, listen, I haven't seen what this can do to people. Like, I don't know. Like, and not for nothing, but there's uncertainty. There's uncertainty out there. Mm-hmm. You got doctors saying take a third shot and it's going to make you 95% immune if you take the third shot. Well, I thought before, that was the case when you took 2 shots. Now they're saying it's when you take 3 shots. So when does it end? But I kind of. To me, though, like I think you're also governments are there to protect us, right? And that's what their main function is. That is their main function in theory. Yeah. So if the government's saying, "Hey, this is what you should be doing," unfortunately, we have to kind of fall in line or not abide by it, and we got to take whatever comes with that, right? Mm-hmm. I don't know, because governments by theory are designed to protect the people. Not to tax the people, not to do all that stuff. That may come along with it, but it's to protect their people in times of crisis. So it's kind of a double-edged sword. But I'd love to hear from other folks. What are you all thinking out there?
So with me, I think it's a situation where I can see, as I work in the medical field. I'm not a doctor or nurse, but I do work in the medical field. But I can see how there are people that have trepidation about taking the vaccine, only for the simple fact that you get so much constant change, whether vaccinations work or don't work, which obviously it's kind of proven that it works, but it's kind of all over the place at times as far as what things are coming out. Like you just said, Pierre, initially they said it would be 2 shots, 95%, I think. Now they say the third shot will make it more effective. So I can see how some of the players themselves would, not even players, just people in general. But with the players, my thing is, listen, you've gotten surgeries in the past. You've taken medication that doctors have prescribed for you, and you never second guessed it. I mean, I don't believe they ever did. You kind of believe the science at times when you gotten surgeries done in the past. So I just look at it from this standpoint. Why not believe in it now? I can understand the asking of questions and things like that. I get it. But you've depended on science for many other things. Why not, at this particular moment?
Yeah, I mean, listen, Kyrie struck me. If you had to say, Pierre, I want you to guess the one player in the NBA that's not going to want to comply to this. I would have been like Mr. Flat Earther himself. But, that's so predictable, right?
Yeah.
But there's other players out there, right? I mean, not just Wiggins. There's other players out there. These are just the 2 notable ones, right?
Mm-hmm. I think they play in the market that are most strict. That's the big problem.
Yeah. Well, no, it is. Well, I mean, if you're anybody like New York, for example, right? In Brooklyn and Manhattan, you're not. So, any Knicks get Brooklyn game. I mean, if you're on one of those teams, like, you're kind of like, all right, it's going to impact you more than others. But hey, listen, that's part of this. You're making a conscious decision to follow or not follow a rule.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And whether philosophically you agree with it, it's the rules there. That's part of living here.
Mm-hmm.
And I know, like, people are saying, oh, it's not constitutional to make people do all this stuff.
The Supreme Court actually says it is. And we have vaccination requirements for other diseases for schools, for jobs, for all sorts of things in our lives. We just haven't made that step yet with the COVID vaccine, but it's coming. I can see here probably in the next year or two, it'll be a requirement to basically do anything in our country, and probably Canada too. Who knows about those guys up there? But yeah, I don't know. You want to play in the NBA, you want to play in those arenas, you need to get vaccinated. If you don't, I think your team has the right, and actually, they should consider moving on from you. Basically, you're a part-time player. And in the case of, say, Kyrie Irving, he'll still make $17 million for the games he does play. That's a lot of money to shell out for a part-time player, especially when you have a short window with Durant and Harden and the players that they do have to actually go out and try and win this championship.
Yeah.
I can see the Nets actually moving on from Kyrie if he refuses to get the shot.
They might be looking for a reason to. I mean, the guy's such a headache. I mean,
right.
But I do understand why there's this trepidation on the part of some people to do this, man. I mean, like the government's not necessarily and they're not necessarily instilling trust by changing all of these things. It's like, well, I thought you knew before. Now you know now. You didn't know before, and now you're telling me this is safe and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
It creates all this uncertainty, man. I mean, that's the bottom line.
It also doesn't, it doesn't help that we had a change of administration, especially going from Republican to Democrat in the middle of this crisis. We basically got flip-flop stories in January, essentially. Like, depending on what side of the aisle you were on, the vaccination was good last year, now it's not, or vice versa. Now, it was developed extremely fast compared to most vaccines, but is also using a new technology, a new way of developing vaccines. So I do absolutely understand why people would be cautious to get it. I think the data is out there now. We're at like 70% vaccination across the country with very, very little to no side effects at all. But if I was the NCAA at this point, though, I would be investigating Duke basketball. Because if a guy like Kyrie Irving can get into a prestigious institution like Duke, there had to have been some cheating going on there, because that
I wasn't sure where you're going with that.
Yeah, because that guy is not all together. I mean, the whole flat Earth comments, I don't know. There's something missing with that.
Listen, I think he's troubled, man. In some
yeah,
way,
and that
shape, or
could be
form.
He could be very intelligent, but just something's not clicking there.
Do you think he's just trolling?
Sometimes
you think he's just trolling?
The flat Earth thing, I think he might have been trolling. I think he might have been.
I hope so.
He's always marched to his own drum, and it's not overly surprising that Kyrie's one of the two. I don't know much about Andrew Wiggins, but listen, end of the day, I got the vaccine. It was a very easy decision for me. It's just, I can understand the thought on the other side, though, but at the same time, listen, at the end of the day, Kyrie and Andrew are playing for teams that play in states, and this is the law of the state. If you're and they are an employee of the state. If you're an employee of the state and the state's telling you this is what you got to do, you got to get this vaccine. Look, right or wrong, this is what you got to do. And at the end of the day, listen, these guys make more money than any of us will see in our lifetime. So maybe it's just a drop in the hat. Oh, okay, I'm not going to play in the home game, so I'm only going to miss this amount of money. But at the same time, listen, you're an employee of the state. You're an employee of the team. Your teammates are depending on you to help them, progress in what they want to do throughout the season. Get the vaccine. It's a simple thing. And I can see the other side of it, but to me, it just makes no sense. It's almost laughable. It's like, listen, this is what you got to do. This is coming from the state. And again, these guys are employee of their state, of the teams in the state. You got to do it. You got to do it. And I almost feel bad for like the Brooklyn fans. They're going to the stadium to see Kyrie, and Kyrie's going to, do this and not playing.
That's the story of this guy's life, man. I mean, honestly, I'm just so over that guy. I mean, I think part of it's because I'm a Celtics fan, right? And I got to see it firsthand.
Sturdy. I know.
I just think I'm just so done with this guy and his fucking antics. I really am. I'm done with him. Like
he also jumped off the ship too with Cleveland. If he would have just played nice, him and LeBron could have been Batman and Robin for a lot of years.
He's a sideshow. And he's constantly. He's probably the most selfish individual in the NBA, in my opinion. People talk about Russell Westbrook. Kyrie Irving is the most selfish individual in the NBA. I'm sure maybe there's some below the surface that we don't know about that are very selfish, but this dude is selfish, man. I mean, he's all about himself. He's a walking sideshow. Now that doesn't mean I'm actually a little bit more balanced, I think, on this than I think all of you are. I get, maybe you do. I just kind of get why there's trepidation on their part. I can understand it.
Look, I get it, but take the time you need to make the decision. And if the decision is no, then maybe you need to walk away. That's all.
Live with it.
Yeah.
Then live with it.
It's eventually going to come to the point where it will be a requirement. In the NBA, in the NFL, and in most of our day-to-day jobs.
What's the score of the game? What happened?
Oh, it's 5-3 now.
5-5.
5-5.
Oh, 5-5?
Oh yeah.
I mean, listen, for my job, I have to wear a badge that states that I was vaccinated.
Yeah.
And that's just it. I put it on every day.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look, and it's different. It's different for me, than it would be for someone that makes that exuberant amount of money. I understand that. Maybe it's the money that just makes him go all crazy. I don't know, but
yeah, you know what though? Let's look at what do you have for vaccination cards in your respective states?
Say that again.
Like in your respective states, what's your vaccination card?
So we're supposed to carry electronic vaccine.
Mine's
passports.
a handwritten one.
Yeah, mine too.
it's a handwritten one. I took a picture. I have it on.
I mean, does that really instill trust? I mean, in something.
Doesn't.
I mean, I gotta be honest with you. Does that really instill trust?
Yeah, it doesn't.
I could go to the local Kinko's and print up like 1,000 of those things and just start writing shit in there. I mean,
well, no one's punching it in either into their database.
Oh no, they are here. They are here.
Oh, they are.
Yeah,
they're punched into a database.
Okay, we don't.
But I think, but are they? But when you walk into an arena, are they like punching into the database to see if it's legit?
For me, I've
not doing that, man.
I've never had to show it where I am, and I guess the closest that, like I just
said, Wawa's.
Wawa, no, I haven't had to. I haven't had. I was just at Wawa earlier.
Wawa strikes me as a sort of establishment that might do that.
You know what I think is probably upsetting for some of those.
Be careful there, buddy.
I think
like I said, the closest that I've had so far is having to wear that badge at work, and I mean, but listen, it's a different world we're living in now, and this is something that I know it's hard for some people to really adjust to, but there's just a new way of living, a new life that came out of this pandemic that it's difficult, but it's just one little step to do. It's like, I don't know.
You know what?
It's a tough thing. It really is.
You know what?
Kyrie, even when he's not like necessarily on the court, look at him. We're still getting him attention.
Yeah. Right.
I mean, it's the same guy that had to take like a month sabbatical last season because he didn't feel like playing basketball for a while.
He had to have his birthday.
There's been reports that said that if Brooklyn were to trade him, he'll retire.
Oh, please!
I could see him doing that though.
Please,
that's the crazy part about it. You know how
I could see him stepping away.
Yeah, that could.
Please.
What's the realistic value though? As a team, are you trading for a guy?
Nobody would trade for him. I don't think anybody would trade for him.
No way.
I mean,
why?
I mean, would you trade Ben Simmons at this point?
It's not because of his skill, because we know.
I don't know if
Kyrie has.
I don't even think I would move Ben for Kyrie at this point.
Listen, three organizations in a row, right? Where he's left on bad terms. He would have left on bad terms and not.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Not kind of being a team player to some degree, right? I mean, come on.
I think the only reason he's able to survive in Brooklyn is because Kevin Durant kind of got say, and Kevin Durant, that's his boy. I think that's the only reason Brooklyn is they're tied to him, because nobody's gonna take him just because of the fact that all the stuff he does, whether like Leon said, he wants to play or doesn't want to play. He gets in his.
You just sit Kevin Durant down if you're that ownership team, or if you're the general manager. You say, listen, man, I appreciate your affiliation with the guy.
I agree,
but no, we're not doing this anymore. So
Yeah.
I just want to know, are you still in or not?
Yeah. And maybe after this, maybe KD might be like, listen, I've had enough, man. We're trying to win. And we've all done what we had to do. Now all of a sudden it's just like you don't want to do, I can see how it could get to the point already where KD might be frustrated and not want to deal with that anymore. But even if that happens, what team will be willing to even take him? That's the thing.
Listen, if
I think Ben Simmons is a perfect fit for that team. They don't need a shooter.
Maybe KD can give him the vaccine. He can just sneak it in the locker room. They just
yeah, they're really good friends. Pretend like they're hugging and just inject it in his back.
Yeah,
there you go.
Kyrie, man,
put it in his Wawas, and then
foul
like he would.
Wawas have like those pre-made sandwiches, right?
Oh wow, come on, you guys don't know.
Yeah,
Wawas
you could, yeah, but you could inject it into the bread, and then he'd eat it. And,
yeah.
Also, I didn't know that they were saying that, like, for example, if a team goes to play the Knicks at the Garden or a team that goes to play the Nets in Brooklyn, so let's say like, Chicago comes to New York to play either one of those teams. None of those players have to be vaccinated to play.
Yeah, the visiting team is the visiting team rules. Doesn't,
which is, I can see how some players might
now. Are you sure? Because according to New York City law or ordinance, they wouldn't even be allowed in the building.
Yeah, but I think with the as far as the NBA,
they have some type of player exemption.
Yeah, some exemption where if they're coming as a visiting team, they don't have to be vaccinated.
I know it's true for the NBA
how would the NBA's little rule outweigh like local ordinances?
Yeah,
I think the local team has to work with the local government to get whatever the rules and how many people can get in it and whatever.
But I know as of now, the players that are coming to visit to play a team, they wouldn't have to be vaccinated.
They're just limited to the hotel and whatever. Like there's like strict rules that they have to abide by, but they don't necessarily have to be.
Yeah, so I can also see
just
how
I'm not vaccinated for God's sakes. Just get vaccinated.
Get the shot.
Like if you don't have it, then you can't bring no one in your party. You can't.
Listen, I don't see that. Like, where's the uproar over the flu shot? Like, where's the uproar there? I mean, like, I don't know, man. I do get it.
It's something new. It's
the flu shot is new every single year.
No, I'm saying that it's a new kind of shot, the COVID shot. This is something that is more from like this year or whatever. So that's why
I was vaccinated right away. I don't get the second a 13-year-old could be vaccinated, my son. As soon as a 16-year-old could be vaccinated, my daughter was. As soon as my
I got
13-year-old, my 13-year-old was. I didn't go around my parents until I was vaccinated. I mean, this is what I don't know, man. I just took different precautions. This is something we got to live with, and they're gonna have to learn. Like you, all right, fine. You want to play hard to get now. All right, whatever, man. But you're gonna get this fucking shot.
Yeah,
I mean,
you just don't play.
At some point, life is gonna make it so you have to. I mean,
like Jason was saying, whether it's now or if they start doing, where if you have to travel, you're gonna have to get. So, like you said, one way or another, they'll end up getting you.
They're going to get beat into it because you're going to eventually just try to go in anywhere, and they're going to be like, "Are you vaccinated?" I mean, eventually it's going to wear you down. You're going to have to.
Eventually it's going to probably be against the
unless you want to just be a shut-in.
Exactly.
Which
maybe that's better for Kyrie.
That's an appealing lifestyle.
Take away Kyrie's like technology, anything that could showcase him to the outside world and make him a shut-in.
Well, he can just watch the Uncle Drew movie on a loop over and over and over.
That'll be the only basketball he'll play.
That wasn't a bad movie, though.
It was a decent.
No, it wasn't bad. Actually, it wasn't.
I've seen terrible.
Kazam was worse.
It wasn't. Yeah.
Most of Tyler Perry's discography, most of Tyler Perry's library is worse. I mean,
sure.
Some of it's funny. I do like some Tyler Perry movies, but when he delved into the world of like action, high energy action, high octane action movies, I was like, I'm out, man. I'm out. All right, so let's get into the second topic, which is the one that I think is a little bit more exciting, and it's wild card and eventually playoff baseball. So we have most of it's mapped out in the NL, right? I mean, we're almost there.
I think the most thing that can happen, I think, if the Dodgers flip with the Giants.
San Fran,
that's the biggest
closest.
thing.
That's the closest change that could occur.
Well,
I mean, mathematically, Philly
Yeah.
could
Philly's still not out of
No,
Braves.
I said the
Yeah.
closest.
Yeah.
Oh,
That
yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
mean Philly can't do it.
That's
It's not as likely
Yeah.
as the Dodgers catching San Francisco.
Mhm.
Correct.
So I think the NL's almost like fleshed out, but the AL is far from it.
Oh yeah.
So you've got the Yankees 2 games up on the Red Sox after the Red Sox took a beating at home for 3 games, still won the season series.
Yep.
So if it does end in a tie, the Red Sox end up with home field if they are in fact in the wild card.
Mhm.
Now you've got the Yankees playing Toronto, and I laughed at someone saying that Seattle was going to catch the Red Sox, and they're only 1 loss off from the Red Sox, a half a game back.
Yeah.
This is turning out to be an epic wild card race. It conceivably could be a 4-way tie. I mean, there's no
Yeah.
theoretically it could be a 4-way tie.
Yep.
Would they do 2 extra games then?
Yeah.
And then the wild card game?
Ooh.
I think so.
No, they'd have to do 2 extra. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. That would be crazy.
Yeah.
It
Right.
would
Baseball.
2 163s.
But let's do this before we get into the AL. Let's start in the NL.
Hmm.
So the NL picture right now is
Yeah, it's okay.
you have San Francisco leading their division. You have Milwaukee, and you have the Braves. Then the wild card, you have St. Louis, right?
Yep.
St. Louis and
well,
LA
Dodgers.
and the
Or
Dodgers.
Giants. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So I don't know. I kind of see it panning out, staying that way. That's what I envision. Now, how many games of the season has San Francisco been in first place?
Oh, pretty much all of them.
Pretty much the whole way, kind of.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the
Maybe-
Dodgers
There was,
caught
a
them
point, there was a point where I
briefly,
think
but then they lose
the
it.
Dodgers flipped with them, but
Yeah.
it wasn't long.
Yeah. At least since May or June. they've been in
Yeah.
First place.
I mean, it's hard for me to fathom the Dodgers all of a sudden being in first place. I think it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be. Let's start with Dodgers. Dodgers St. Louis.
Dude, how crazy would that be? That's a 1-game series.
I know.
Any team can win in a 1-game series. How crazy would it be if St. Louis knocks off LA?
Yeah.
It wouldn't be that crazy.
I wouldn't
I mean,
be surprised.
the Cardinals haven't lost.
The Cardinals are
I
playing
feel like
so
in
hot
September.
right
This is
now.
why
Yeah.
you don't want to be. You don't want to be in this position. You want to
No.
win your division.
Yeah, you want to win your division. Absolutely.
You're at the mercy of one pitcher versus one pitcher,
Yep.
Right. And that pitcher being on that day too.
and the whole bullpen. Like you can
Right.
just like. I mean, you can. There's so many things you can do in these 1 games, which is
Yeah.
ridiculous. But
The Dodgers
Um,
have had a shaky bullpen all year too, so they have like 4 aces, probably. Arguably, right? But their bullpen's been shaky all year. So,
you can look at it 1 of 2 ways, right? If it is LA and St. Louis, you can look at like, all right, St. Louis is just on fire. I mean, what is it, 17 in a row?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not insane like that. Or you look at like, all right, it's time for them to fall apart a little bit. So it depends on how you're looking at it. But I would take LA in that matchup.
Sure.
I mean, I don't care if even if St. Louis wins out and won 22 in a row, I don't. I'm taking
It'd be hard to go against Mad Max in a 1 game.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's hard to. I just wouldn't be.
But
too
like you
surprised
said, yeah,
if-
you
if
never know.
The Cardinals win. It's one of
Crazy
those
things
things.
happen
I mean,
sometimes in a
the-
1
the-
game.
The Cards got that second spot locked up.
Yeah.
They should be changing their rotation around so they have their ace for that wild card game. If they're not, then they're absolutely blowing this thing. But
Yeah.
and I'm sure the Dodgers probably are too, but they are still kind of looking to win the division.
hmm
So I don't know.
Could be
But,
setting up an epic because if LA does win, it would be San Francisco LA
Yeah.
What for
for the net for the divisional series, right?
Yeah, the first round. Yep.
It would be them.
Yeah. So let's say if
It
either
goes
one-
best record versus the wild card.
Yep.
oh, okay.
It wouldn't be. I don't
They don't
believe.
reseed.
No,
yeah,
it
they don't
wouldn't.
reseed.
So
It
let's-
wouldn't be all of a sudden San Francisco versus the worst record of the 3. It's going to be San Francisco versus the wild card.
Yep.
Okay.
That's actually not advantageous for this setup. Is not good for San Francisco.
Yeah.
It's not good for either of those teams.
I mean, you can
Yeah.
argue it's not good for Tampa Bay either. I mean, they're going to be playing the winner of the wild card too. most
No, I'd
likely,
rather
right?
that.
Yeah. I mean, the Brewers
Than the White Sox?
The White
Yeah.
Sox to me I think they're overrated, but
They
I don't
fell
know,
back.
man.
I think whoever makes it out of the wild card is going to be more dangerous than the White Sox in the playoffs.
Yeah, absolutely.
You could be right. Could be right.
unless it's the Blue Jays.
I mean,
What's gonna
we're-
hurt
we're,
them-
we're the deepest. We're the deepest team out of all the teams left. But all right,
But you've
What's
been saying all year long how terrible your bullpen is.
yeah.
All year.
But our starting pitching is pretty damn good, and our hitting's pretty damn good.
What's gonna
I
hurt
mean,
San
those other
Fran-
4 teams ain't flawed. Come on.
Yeah, no, they all got their
Tampa
own-
Bay's not flawed.
Tampa
Are you
Bay.
talking
No,
about- are you
I'm
talking-
saying the other 4
Wild
teams
card?
in the wild card
Tampa's
race.
Tampa's just is always there.
Well, let's
Tampa-
talk about that. Oh, go ahead. What'd you say, Neil?
I said Tampa's just always there. They're just one of those teams, man. That the Cardinals, the Dodgers, the Braves, just always there, always in the mix. The Red Sox, the Yankees. You can just count on certain teams to always just be part of the mix, all right? And in more recent years, even the Giants. I know the Giants had a few years where they weren't that good. I mean, they were winning a lot, and now they're back again, and they're hitting a lot of home runs too. I guess moving a couple seats around must have helped or whatever.
Losing Belt is gonna hurt them though.
Yeah.
He's out for 4 weeks.
Yeah,
Who's the most flawed team in the AL wild card race? You have the Red Sox, you have the Yankees, you have Seattle, and you have Toronto. Who's the most flawed?
Damn,
I'm least scared
I'm
of
gonna say
the Mariners, but they keep
Yeah.
winning.
Yeah, but you're at least scared of the Mariners because you don't know them. Like,
yeah.
Well, yeah, that. But plus, I feel like their front office kind of gave up on their team, traded their closer. Then the team kind of had a rebellion. Then I feel like they kind of won in spite of that. And
I don't know if I
A
really-
major league story then, huh?
I guess, but
Because
the
they all
freaking
have-
the A's just rolling over and letting them
Yeah.
win it.
They all
Did they
have-
play the A's like 20 times this month or something? I don't get it.
They all have their own flaws. I mean, the Red Sox, the Yankees, and Toronto all have, I mean, different flaws, obviously, but all have their own flaws amongst each other. I mean, Yankees, we know their starting pitching isn't the greatest.
Yeah, I was
The
about to say. I mean, all
The
due
bullpen's
respect,
looking
I
better.
don't know. I don't
bullpen's a
know if
lot better, as you know, some of the trades they got. I think with Boston, I think is their starting pitching as well. That's enough. I mean, an issue for them as well.
I don't know, man.
And
Eduardo,
bullpen,
I think they've at least got 3 solid starters at the front of the rotation. I think the Red Sox biggest flaw right now is consistency on offense. I mean, I don't know, man. I think they pour on a lot of runs, but it's so weird. One game they're just like fucking shut out. They're getting wiped out by like Baltimore, and the next game they're scoring 10, 15 runs. I mean, it's
Yeah.
there's lack of consistency with the Red Sox. Their biggest flaw is they just can't find a groove right now. They've
I
been
just
like
think-
this. They've been hot and cold, hot then cold, and the Yankees have the same sort of flaw. I mean,
Yeah.
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 Problem is right now Stanton and Judge are nuclear right now.
Yeah,
They've moved Gleyber Torres over to second, which seemed to fix him a little bit.
He's not a
lost.
shortstop.
He looked lost at
He
short.
was not a shortstop.
I think at the end of the day, it always comes down to pitching in the playoffs. And I don't know, for as strong as the Yankees are offensively, I don't know if they have the pitching to really to win a 7-game series against another team that might have, if not the same hitting as them, someone on the same kind of page. If that other team has some better pitchers, and particularly in the back end of the bullpen, that's the team that's probably going to win that series. And if I look around at baseball right now, I think it is kind of a crapshoot right now to know for sure who's going to be there. But I look at some of these teams like Tampa, like an Astros, like, you know, some of these teams that just have the solid pitching in the bullpen, and that might carry the day for them. As much as the Yankees did offensively, the Yankees have always had good offenses in the play, and then in the playoffs, they just, you know, the pitching gets them at the end. The Red Sox have been an interesting story all year. You know, they were really great, then they kind of tapered off a bit. It's hard to kind of gauge them. I almost want to say it's almost like these teams are going to beat each other up, and then when they get into the playoff, it might be a whole nother story. It's going to be fascinating, though. It really is.
This is like the World Series right now for those teams, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And I said this to Leon earlier today. We're getting all invested in this, right? I'm not certain that any of these 4 teams are going to ultimately matter. To me,
That's fine.
It's gonna be tough.
I just don't see any of these wild card teams being the team that goes all the way. I don't see it.
Yeah.
That's fine. I mean, the Jays are
don't.
built young. They're built to last. If it's not this year, then whatever. I'm treating this series that's happening right now almost as a mini playoff series, man. This is just
Sure.
I mean, these all are
like,
mini
it
playoff series.
essentially is. And it makes
what makes it fun
losing
this week.
some of those games in the past, booting it against Detroit or not getting it done against Washington, so much more worse because we could easily be in a better spot. But, you know.
So how do you guys see this turning out? So, the AL wild card, how do you see it turning out?
I think it ends up being Yankees and Boston. Obviously, I'm gonna say the Yankees. I'm not gonna not say them, but I mean with 4 games to go, the Yankees being up currently at the moment 2 on Boston and 3 on Toronto. I mean, Yankees pretty much got to lose out. Toronto got to win out. I mean, I don't know. Crazier things have happened. I'm not saying that it's not possible, but I think it'll end up being the Yankees and Boston.
Yeah, I got to agree. I think for sure the Yankees. I mean, it's going to come down to the weekend.
Yeah,
For
sure.
I just look at Boston right now playing the Beltway teams, and both of them have pretty much packed it in. Even though it's still dangerous to play those type of teams, I think I look at who Boston's playing right now. I think it would just be too hard for them not to make it in as the second team behind the Yankees. And yeah, that's those old rivalry gonna see each other again.
Although, I mean, the Yankees played the Rays last. I mean,
That's a big deal. Like, what's going to happen there? I think.
I mean, if I was the Rays, I'd be shutting it down and trying to get my
you can't
Their
lineup.
rotation ready.
You can't shut it down, though. But you can't shut it down.
You don't have 40 players this time of year.
You don't have the
28.
personnel to shut it down.
Yeah.
You only have 28.
That's the
know.
difference in this. I like the way it's designed because you really can't.
You got to play out the whole year.
You got to play out the
pretty
year
much.
because you don't have the roster to just throw up a minor league team there the last 3 games.
Yeah.
The Yankees had the toughest route, but them not Boston not taking it to them really evened out the.
What happened now?
No, Stan popped up. He almost hit a home run.
And the Rays play the wild card winner, right?
Yeah, the Rays will play.
Yeah.
The wild card
So
winner.
Listen,
the
this
Rays
is going to be
could
ugly,
say-
man. And
For
Still
me,
really
I
good
they
that AL
need to
loses,
keep
though.
winning so they can play. They keep the best record and maintain.
Because
home
I
field.
thought
The Rays could look at the weekend series and say, "Hey, we can knock these guys out, so we don't have to play them in the playoffs, right?" So that might be a reason for them to, want to at least try to, figure their playoffs kind of start early.
Yeah,
Let's
this
just
is
take
Red
this
Sox.
like
This
a
is-
playoff series.
the Red.
Even
the
if
Rays-
we don't know
This is
how
Red
now.
Sox. This is Red Sox Yankees, man.
I think.
Like, I mean,
it's
as
Red-
much as you
Red
want to
Sox,
deny
Blue
it,
Jays.
I get. You think Red
Yeah.
Sox Blue Jays?
I think Red Sox.
I
Blue
don't,
Jays. I mean,
man.
Red Sox
Red
play
Sox,
the
Blue Jays.
Nationals. Blue Jays
No
play
love
the
for the
Orioles, and the Yankees play the Rays. I mean, just based on that, I think the Blue Jays and the Red Sox can catch and pass.
What happens tonight is gonna really
Yeah,
How I think
where
it's
it
going
goes.
to turn out. I think the Red Sox are going to be at home playing the Yankees. That's what I think is going to happen because I really believe the Red Sox are going to win out. I believe that. I think the Red Sox are going to win out. I
That's
think
fine. You have the easiest path.
I think they're going to win out.
Yeah.
They're right now. They got the bases loaded 3-0 in the top of the 8th. They're about to put the fucking Rays away, and
Turn on the.
the Orioles away, and then you got like Toronto and the Yankees still have to play today, play tomorrow, and then the Yankees have Tampa Bay. I think this all kind of evens out for the Red Sox and Yankees, and I think Toronto and Seattle are going to be on the outside looking in.
If
And
Toronto
I've
takes-
seen this story before.
If Toronto goes 4-1, they're in.
Yeah, I think so.
You need the Yankees to go like 1-4.
Dude, the problem is you're saying
but two of those
this
would come
this
from us. That's the thing.
Listen, there's a lot of conversations where you can say your team owns its own destiny. There's only one team right now that does. It's the Yankees because they're at 2 games up on the Red Sox and they're 3 games up on Toronto. That's the only team that legitimately can say if we do this, we get in. Or we're
for sure.
or we
And if the
got it.
Yankees get in,
So
you
to
know,
say
hats off
to
to
say
them.
that Toronto has to go 4-1, that's not accurate.
Well, I mean, if they go
because
4-1,
the Red
most
Sox-
likely they're
the
going to
Red
beat the Yankees
Sox-
because they're playing them. That's what I'm saying.
listen, my. Oh, you're saying because they go 4-1 against because two of those ones would be against the
Yeah,
Yankees, or
correct.
one of them conceivably.
Yeah,
It depends
so
on where that one. No, but it depends on where that one is.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
that one in the last series, or is that I mean,
Yeah.
or is it against the Yankees again?
I mean, when you're chasing someone, it helps if you're beating the team because
listen,
you're not
right
waiting
now,
for them to lose. You're beating them.
right now. To be frank, Toronto, amongst all the teams, I think this is obvious, has to win out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. They can't. They,
You
they
got-
can't drop.
There's
games
three.
and get
There's
in.
4 teams here. There's 4 teams
Yeah.
here, which changes everything because there's 4
Everything,
teams
yeah.
here.
Right now, they're in last place out of all 4 teams. They did it to themselves,
Hard charging Mariners.
right?
Oh.
The Mariners passed them.
I mean,
Remember
listen,
the
man, I
ends?
was. At,
Uh-oh.
And the Mariners end up with the Angels.
Oh,
oh my
Boba
god,
Fett,
yeah.
baby.
So I mean,
Over shit, baby.
what happened?
5-4 or 6-5.
Listen,
congrats on the
it's-
division title, Jason.
Yep.
well, either way, I that's what I believe. I believe it's gonna be Boston in Fenway
Yeah.
against the Yankees. That's what I think is gonna happen.
And
Then I think Tampa Bay is gonna wipe the floors with the Red Sox. Then I believe Houston's gonna destroy Chicago. I just think Houston's a superior team. I think Chicago, as much as I like a lot of the players, I like one of their biggest fans is a good friend of mine. I
Chicago's
still
a fun team to watch.
I'm going Chicago.
they're not built for it, I don't think.
Yeah,
Dude,
I
it's
don't
gonna
think
be
they're ready for the
Houston and
spotlight. I don't think they're
I'll
ready.
be
for the
rooting
spotlight.
for Chicago. I don't
Yeah.
think they can do it. though.
Listen,
Yeah.
I gotta be honest with you. I don't care who comes out of this wild card. I don't see Tampa Bay losing to anybody in any of these 4 teams. I'm sorry, I don't see it.
They're on.
I don't see it.
They're
I
on
don't see
top.
it. They have the best
play so
offense in
good.
baseball. But
They are fundamental.
this is incredible. They have the best offense in baseball, right? I'm almost
amazing what they
positive
do.
that the most runs per game. I could be
I
wrong.
think so. I think so.
Huh?
Yeah, they have
It
the
is,
most
right?
They
runs,
were there a year
and I
ago,
think they have the best
so-
run differential too. I think.
Yeah, they are the perfect pain in the ass.
They're good.
And
They're
don't
a
think-
great team. They're a great team.
We got him in 08.
No, but the key word is team.
Yeah.
That was
They're a
13
great
fucking
team.
years
They
ago,
feed off
Neil.
each other.
Yeah,
Huh?
yeah, that's what you got to enjoy it though, because
We spoke. We spoke
Yeah.
about this earlier today, Pierre. I mean, they could easily be defending champs right now if they don't pull Snell. They let Snell
Yeah.
run a little.
Yeah.
The Dodgers don't win.
Right.
I mean, anything could have happened, but
Yeah.
I think people forget how close they were.
That was a good series last
Now,
year.
listen, man. Tampa Bay,
They just
It's
wouldn't
the-
go away.
they're the most well-run franchise in baseball,
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
without a doubt. Without a doubt.
and it's not even close.
No.
And
They
for
need to
all
get
these
somebody to
National League like Dodger and San Francisco Giant lovers, if you think that Tampa Bay gets into the World Series, you're rolling over them, think fucking again.
Yeah.
Watch
Well,
last year.
it was tough for the Dodgers last year to beat them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, I
I mean,
have a
they've
hard-
added pieces, man. I blame the Padres for letting the Dodgers get this strong. Like they should have got that trade done when they had the chance. To let them get Mad Max and Turner is insane.
And Turner.
The more I watch the
That's what's
AL,
nice.
the more I watch the AL East, the more I realize Tampa Bay's for real. Because the AL East, people argue the NL West is stronger, blah blah blah. The AL East is the strongest division in baseball, period.
Yeah.
It's not even a question.
They got 2 dud teams over there.
The Red Sox, Yankees, Toronto, and Tampa Bay are teams that anybody else in the league would be like, nah, I don't want to play them.
Yeah.
And there was a time that Baltimore was pretty good too. I mean,
Yeah, Baltimore's a
know
joke
they
now,
kinda
but
fell
5 years
off,
ago,
but-
5 years ago, they're in the
No, I'm
playoffs.
not talking about all. I'm not talking about history. I'm talking about right now. The
Yeah.
AL
right
East is the
now,
best division in
They'll
baseball.
have
Period.
probably 490 win teams.
That's insane.
Yeah, that's crazy. And one
It's
we
division.
crazy.
just get Atlanta out of our division.
So when you think about it, man, I don't know. It's just I
It's
don't
gonna
know.
be interesting. It's gonna be definitely.
I got Tampa Bay coming out of all this though. I'm sorry, I just do.
I hate that team so much. Toronto has the pieces to do it, I think. It's not
They
like
do not. They do not.
Okay.
It's not
Tampa
like what
Bay-
Toronto's done.
Tampa Bay will obliterate the Jays in a series. Obliterate them.
Okay.
They
I
will.
like what Toronto's done there. They've really.
I like
they got some
Toronto.
good-
Listen,
they
I
got
think
some good
Toronto
pieces.
2 years from now, 3 years from now is going to be a fantastic team.
Yeah.
I think they're going to be a force to be reckoned with. But
Sure.
Tampa Bay right now will roll over them.
I mean,
Yeah.
Vladdy's just getting started. Vladdy Jr.
I mean,
just getting started.
we got other shit to worry about before we even get to that point. But for
You're
now,
not get, you're
you know?
get, if you get to the point but that's the point of why Tampa Bay would roll over you and roll over Toronto, because Tampa Bay has proven all year that they're a fantastic team, and Toronto's fighting for its life.
They have the
and they're also built for the pandemic because they got used to playing in front of nobody.
That's true.
Oh, come on.
Well, their fans show up now.
That's fucking absurd.
They're cowbells.
Listen,
Now they show up.
Tampa Bay is better than Toronto.
Bay.
I'm not saying
Tampa Bay is better than the Yankees.
Yep.
Tampa Bay is better than Boston, and Tampa Bay is better than Seattle. They're better than Houston. They're better than the White Sox.
Better than everybody in the East.
Yeah.
You say a lot of smart things. That's one of the worst things I've ever heard come out of your mouth.
Ooh.
That they're made for the pandemic,
No, I said they're used to playing in front of nobody. That's what
Well, then why
cares?
aren't the Marlins tearing up the National League? They play in front of like 500 fans every night.
I mean, they made it in the playoffs last year.
Oh, come on, Leon. I love you, man. You know that, but come on, man. That's a flawed argument. If you think, if anyone here can say their respective team, anybody here right now can say their respective team is better than Tampa Bay, you're on drugs. You're on
I
drugs.
don't think anyone's arguing that.
You don't see me.
Oh, you were trying to.
No. I didn't say
10
we're
years,
better
no
than them.
fault.
I'm saying we got the pieces to get it done against them. That's all.
Everybody has the pieces to get it done against anybody.
Yeah.
It's a joke.
One game, but Tampa's locked up a whole series.
Listen, I'm going to tell you right now, don't be a homer. Because for me, I'm a Red Sox fan. I love the Red Sox. But I know if they go into a series with Tampa Bay, they're fucking finished.
I like what Tampa's done. I really do. They're just a very impressive franchise. And they make good moves. It's like they can get rid of guys and get better.
They got rid of Hunter Renfroe, and he put up good numbers with Boston this year.
William Thomas
they
was
didn't miss a
gone,
beat.
and it just here comes another guy off.
They let go Charlie Morton.
Listen,
Every
I get it though, Leon.
every arm in
I
their
get it
front
though.
door.
Baltimore used to be like that for me too. This pain in the ass team that I just
St. Louis
hate. I
is like
love
that.
to hate, and they were good for a few years, right? But don't get that all twisted up with like your fandom. Don't get that twisted up with fandom.
I
wish
have
we
no
could do like
misconception about how good they are.
I'm envious of Tampa Bay. I don't think we can beat them, but I'm envious of them.
I mean, who doesn't want to have a team that like their payroll's like next to nothing?
Give
It's
us some
crazy.
of their scouts.
Yeah,
Listen, man.
And Hunter Renfroe is like the exception to the rule. A lot of their guys leave and don't do anything.
Listen,
yeah.
that's what I'll say, right? Like, so this is where I do believe something you're saying is correct, which is it's not a big market team. There's not the same pressures there. I saw it with the Red Sox with Carl Crawford. I saw it with Julio Lugo. I saw it with other players that really perform. Dave Price.
Yeah.
You saw these guys kind of do well in atmospheres like that. Then they come to something like Boston or New York or a big market like that, and all of a sudden they crumble. They crumble. And there's something to be said about that. There are those players, some of them are made for small market because of the lack of pressure.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Carl Crawford was a perfect example of it. The guy had all the talent in the world, and he came to Boston, and people started questioning mistakes and errors he made and stuff like that. And all of a sudden, the dude turned into an idiot.
Yeah.
Some people don't have the mental makeup to play in a big market.
Yep.
But that doesn't change the fact that Tampa Bay is built the way it is, and they're ready to win. I'm riding with Tampa Bay. I want Boston, and I hope that Boston gets in, plays Tampa Bay brilliantly, and wins. That's what my hope is.
Mm-hmm.
But my that's what my heart says.
Your gut tells you different.
My head is telling me, beware of Tampa Bay.
I'm right there with
My
you.
heart is also telling me what would be the dream ALCS matchup will be Tampa Bay versus Houston, because I think that would be a war.
That would be great. That would be a great.
It will be.
I think that would be a war.
That would be a great series.
And ultimately, I think the best series out of the National League is going to be San Francisco and LA, obviously.
Yeah. That'll be crazy.
And they hate each other.
Who do you guys think?
Somebody will actually. actually die during that series.
3 fans, over under 3 fans. will
Yeah, I
probably-
mean that's a terrible thing to think about. I don't really want to
I
joke
know,
about that
but
'cause that's dangerous.
I'm
But-
not. I mean,
I would ultimately love to see Tampa Bay beat LA. That's what I'd love to see.
do you
Yeah,
see
Bill-
anyone in the
It
NL?
would be the conventional David versus Goliath. It would be symbolic. It would hopefully spur change where it's not just about spending tons of money, but it's also about
Yeah.
investing in the right sort of talent streams that are going to provide you with great talent for less money and balance things out, man. Because you did see it. Billy Beane back in his heyday created change in MLB.
Yeah.
They stopped looking at batting average. And it wasn't just him, but it was him and analytics in general. Changed the way the game was looked at. The game was looked at as if you're a 300 hitter, you were a star. If you hit, blah, blah, blah. Then it shifted to what it should be, which is what is your production getting on base and what's your slugging plus on base? Because really at the end of the day, that's what it's about.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Right.
taking advantage of certain stats.
Mm-hmm.
He
Hopefully the
actually-
Spurs change.
he actually changed all of the sports. I mean, the NBA is very analytic driven these
Mhm.
days.
Yeah.
Well,
So
Billy,
is the
it
NFL.
wasn't just Billy Beane, though. It was Billy Beane relying on information like Bill
Yeah.
James.
Yeah. Bill
Yep.
James. Yeah.
That guy, Rob, there's another guy. I forgot who he was. He was at the forefront of the
But he
analytics side.
he proved that it could be applied at the major league level, at the highest level of sports, and be
Oh, yeah.
productive with
Bill,
it.
Bill James
Yeah.
was the guy.
Yeah.
That's the guy who injected analytics in a big way.
Well, a lot of the upper management and all that stuff, it was like a boys' club, right? Like who was friends with the owner and whatever, and it became less about that and who's actually the smartest guy for the job. You see, like people who
Yeah.
never played the game can actually analyze the game, take those type of roles, right? That changed it tremendously.
Top of the ninth. How you feeling, Kyle?
Dude, the Braves are just
We'll still be up 2 games, so
Yeah.
it'll be-
Yeah.
That's fine. You guys got our ace tomorrow, so
So so I kind of shared how I see it panning out. Why don't we finish up with how you all see it panning out? So why don't we start with you, Jason?
Okay.
yeah, I think it'll probably the American League's tough. Like I'll say it's going to be the Astros coming out there, and then I want the White Sox to win it, but I don't think they're quite ready yet. I think it'll end up being the Astros. It depends on where that series is. Whoever comes out of there,
Mm.
and then the National League, man, that's tough. Like I know it's not going to be the Braves. I'm just actually happy they're in the conversation this late in the season, especially given their injuries and stuff. But getting Jock Peterson over there actually proved to be
All
a
moves
huge-
they made were great moves for them.
Yeah, but I don't think the Brewers have enough to take on the Giants or the Dodgers.
they just lost Devin Williams today.
Oh, the
Who?
reliever. Damn.
Yeah, punching a wall.
He punched the wall in the celebration and
What
fractured his
an
hand.
idiot.
That wasn't
Yeah.
smart.
So I mean, ultimately, it'll probably be the Dodgers. I just think that pitching staff is just too good over a series to overcome. So I'll say Dodgers, Astros again, yeah, who knows from there.
What do you got, Kyle?
So obviously, like you were saying earlier, your heart wants to say Yankees. I mean, well, for me, it wants to say Yankees, but I'm realistic as well. I think coming out the American League, I'm gonna have to agree with Jason. I think Houston can definitely they can beat Tampa Bay. Great offense, really good pitching staff. So I can see them coming out. Them or Tampa. I got either them or Tampa. And then I would say in the NL, I think it's gonna come down to the Dodgers or the Giants. I think if the Dodgers come out at that wild card, or vice versa, if the Giants come out and they face each other in that divisional series, I think whoever wins that divisional series is gonna go on to the World Series. So I would say I would probably go with the Dodgers only for the fact the trade of Scherzer and getting Trey Turner that kind of took them over the top for me. So I would say Houston and the Dodgers. Houston and the Dodgers in the World Series.
So the 2 second bests.
Yeah, a rematch of 2017?
Neil, how about you?
Well, first, let me say, even though for the 10th year in a row, Citizens Bank Park will be quiet during the playoffs, it is going to be great to see all the stadiums with packed houses this year. And, that atmosphere. Baseball playoffs is just great theater. It's great drama. Nothing beats it. You know what? I know we talked, I guess a couple months back about our predictions and how we see it playing out. And I gotta stick with my gut on this. And I know we talked about other teams and there's certainly a chance for that to happen. But I said back then, and I'm going to say it again, I'm still going to go White Sox Dodgers in the World Series. It's just, I got to go with my getting bigger gut, on this. And you go with your first choice. And I said it months ago, I got to stick with it. I just feel there's just, I think it'd be a good matchup. I still think it could happen. And I'm going to stick White Sox versus Dodgers. Why not?
Might as well stay there. Leon,
Stay there.
how about you? What is it? It's 0-2, 2 outs in the 9th right now. Is that what it is?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Look, man, I'm not, I'm not oblivious. The obvious answer is Dodgers, right? Rays, like that's rematches very rarely happen, but those are the best, up to this point. But if my boys do something, then they do something. That's all.
Oh my God, Leon, you're not still talking. Come on, man.
Give it up.
Look, man.
No.
Our four starting pitchers match up well against anybody.
No.
Our lineup is brutal. Okay. There's a lot of guys having career years right now. For
Who cares?
Walk years.
Are they going to have career postseasons though?
We'll see if they want to earn their money. Marcus Semien has the most home runs of any
right
second
now,
baseman in a season.
Right now, they're not even getting in.
Yep,
They have
the season ended
MVP
today.
potential.
Keep hope alive,
MVP.
Leon.
Oh, come on, dude.
Simeon's haven't most home runs by second baseman ever. We might have the
Yeah, I'm
Cy
gonna be
Young winner
I'm
on our
so
team.
happy.
What?
So happy when the Blue Jays get knocked out, just so we can stop talking.
No,
about
it's
it.
not even that. I love Leon, but I like objective, like kind of unbiased sort of
Right.
thoughts and feelings. Like that's biased. And I get it, man. But like, come on, man. Look at it objectively. Toronto is not gonna be in the World Series.
Oh, they just pulled another game out though.
Oh, they're a step closer. Oh.
They still have two. But listen, the Red Sox won.
How we feeling, Kyle?
The Red Sox won.
Do you like your chances if we play you guys in a one game?
Me?
Yeah.
Absolutely. I would put Chris Sale, and it's all, no holds barred after that. I would just
Just
line it
one
up,
game.
line them
One
up,
game
and
is
just
a
knock
coin
them out.
flip, though.
Yeah, one game is a coin flip.
I'm going to be honest with you. Robbie Ray for his statistical like season. I think wow. But he does not fucking scare me.
Okay.
I am never going to be scared of a guy with 2 first names.
Okay.
I'm just not. It's like Billy Joe. I'm not Billy Joe Bob. I'm not worried about nobody like named Bobby Ray. I'm not worried about Bobby Ray.
Okay. I mean, he might only win the Cy Young this year, but okay.
I think the better question is, what do we want to see more?
Bobby Ray doesn't strike fear in the hearts of anyone. I want to be clear.
Bobby Ray, he's not a race car driver? No.
If I had to take a 1 game set between Toronto and the Red Sox in Fenway Park, I'm taking the Red Sox.
That's fine. I was just asking how comfortable you feel with that.
Very comfortable.
Yeah.
Isn't he the
Very
star of
comfortable. It's
Duck Dynasty?
very comfortable.
What would we like to see more? Would it be a Pierre versus Kyle Wild Card watch party, or Pierre versus Leon,
Or it could be Leon versus Kyle. That's statistically
or
possible.
Leon Kyle? That's
Or it could be one of us
find out next week. You know,
Actually,
Mariner fan out there somewhere.
I
Is
think
there
it really
anything
comes
can
down-
happen. The Mariners could
Ricky
play.
Jersey?
What
If
are you
the
saying,
Mariners
Jason?
win, then it's all useless.
I think it really comes down to the Blue Jays Yankees game tomorrow night. Whoever
A
wins
lot
that
of it
game.
does.
Yeah.
And if the Red Sox win again tomorrow night.
Yeah.
I think the Red Sox
Yeah.
are in.
Yeah.
I'm talking.
The Orioles,
It's down to
come
the
on.
Yankees.
The
and
Red
Blue Jays.
Sox to me are even though the Yankees now are a game ahead of them, I think the Red Sox have the strongest chance
They have
of
the easiest
winning
path.
the wild card.
They have the easiest path. However, they're not playing at home, so that's a little
It
bit.
doesn't fucking
harder.
matter. It doesn't. I told you this on the phone today. They could play these fucking teams in Guam. It doesn't change anything. Those teams suck. They're terrible. It doesn't fucking matter where you play.
I would have bet
They
my life
suck.
we would have smoked the Nationals. They beat us twice. So
Well, no, but that's your
anything
World
can
Series
happen.
pick. The
Pesky
fucking Toronto Blue
Nationals.
Jays who can't beat the Nationals. Your boys, as you
Here,
called them.
come
My
on,
boys.
The Red Sox can roll out of bed and beat the Orioles. Don't worry about them.
Fucking
Fuck
Robbie Ray. Robbie Ray now is fucking Cy Young. I mean, he's fucking Nolan Ryan in his
Tomorrow's
prime.
a big case. We hurt Garrett Cole's case a little bit. He lost today, didn't he?
Yep.
It's between him and Cole.
Ooh.
Garrett Cole lost today.
Spitting those
Well,
facts.
technically he didn't actually.
Well, I mean, we got
Yeah, I know what you mean though. I know what you mean.
Nah, he tell you that. Yeah,
He was
knows,
getting
yeah.
rocked in that first inning, man.
Yeah.
3
He got-
extra base hits.
Yep.
God, the
This
biggest
is
run
what makes it
differential.
great, though,
the
doesn't
biggest run differential isn't Tampa Bay. It's Houston.
Oh wow.
No, it's the Dodgers. Dodgers 248.
They got
Houston,
like
206.
8 Cy Young winners on their freaking team, man. It's stupid.
This is what makes it great, though, right? The
They're
race.
They're the first team in
This is
history.
wonderful. I would like to be a part of it.
4 Cy
someday.
Young winners.
No, so the Dodgers.
Yes.
So no team in history had ever had more than 2 Cy Young winners and 2 MVPs on their roster at one time. The
Okay.
Dodgers have 4 of each.
Oh,
4 of each.
That's
Oh.
crazy.
Are you counting Bauer?
Yeah, it might have been counting him.
No, I
Yeah.
think there's 5 because didn't Price win the Cy Young?
Yeah.
Or no?
Yeah, he did.
The
Yeah,
Price,
he did.
Kershaw,
Did Price win
Scherzer.
with the Tigers?
Scherzer.
Scherzer.
I think he was with. Was it with Tampa?
Might
I
have
think
been.
It was with Tampa. I
Might have
think
been
it
with
was
Tampa, yeah. But yeah, and they got four former MVPs too.
Insane.
Bellinger, Mookie.
See, we got Rice chiming in. Nats beat the Rays 3 out of 4 games this year. It
one of those
isn't
guys-
a certainty. That's all I'm saying.
One of those.
I'm
guys
not
is
saying it's
Pujols.
likely.
Oh,
I'm not
that's-
saying
okay,
it's
yeah.
likely.
What
It's
are you
not
fucking?
certain.
What exactly are you saying then?
I'm just it's not like phone it in, take it to the bank. That's all. The Nationals could do something stupid.
The Toronto's in the most disadvantageous position right now, right? At
Now,
the
if
moment.
we beat them tomorrow, we just got to beat the freaking Orioles at home.
Let's
All
sweep
right,
the Orioles.
Jason.
Yeah, but how many games will we be back?
They'll be
Well-
back 1 if they win tomorrow.
If they win
Jason,
tomorrow,
we'll
they'll-
trade you Ben Simmons.
And
for
they got to
Ronald
go
Acuna
into
Jr.
Tampa and win.
I don't know, man. As a Red
They
Sox
have-
fan,
No, Tampa
It-
comes to us.
as a
Okay.
Red Sox fan, it doesn't feel good being a game behind the Yankees, but I feel like the Red Sox are in the best position.
Yeah, they are because
I'm looking a
Blue
week
Jays-
ago. You definitely were. If
No,
you
even
just had to
after
beat
the
them
Red
2
Sox got
times.
swept, I had a bunch of my buddies tell me, "Oh my God, this is terrible." I don't fucking care. Get it out of their system.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, when you look at the bigger picture, a two game lead with the teams that we're playing versus the teams the Yankees are playing, it's not.
Oh, the Yankees
it's-
for sure had the
it's not
hardest route.
consequential to me.
They had the hardest route. They had to go through you guys, then come to Toronto, and then play Tampa. They had the worst route to go through to make it.
I think Toronto wins tomorrow. I do.
So what's it now? What's the how far back are the Jays from the Yankees?
Now the Yankees are up 1 on the Red Sox and 2 on the Jays,
Oh, okay.
and then 1.5 on Seattle.
Seattle, yeah.
And
And the
Seattle
Red
wins
Sox are
today.
like-
That's 1.
The Red Sox are like a game, I guess,
They're
ahead
second.
of.
Yeah, they're 1 behind the Yankees.
they're right in the
Okay.
middle.
1 behind the Yankees and 1 ahead of Toronto.
Ah,
No,
and
is
the
it
Mariners,
2? I'm sorry. Is
but
it
the
2?
Mariners are still kind of
Mariners
right
are
there with Toronto, right?
pretty much a game, pretty much.
So
They're
if
half
the
game behind the
Mariners
Red
win,
Sox.
I don't think they play Thursday though.
Yeah, I think they're off.
Something weird like that.
The Red Sox have Pivetta
oh,
going against Wells in Baltimore. It doesn't even matter. I mean, come on. I mean, Kluber versus Robbie Ray.
That
And-
favors us, man.
And tomorrow you got Seattle Seattle. Does Seattle play tomorrow? That's weird.
No, they're
I
off
think they're
tomorrow.
off tomorrow.
They're
They're off tomorrow.
They play tonight.
That'll be that'll even everything out. So that'll make it easier to follow
Going into
because
Friday. Yeah.
it's
So
everyone
Seattle
else going
has
to catch
one
up with
less
their
game?
half a game.
Seattle has one less game than the rest.
Yeah.
Then on Friday, you've got Eduardo Rodriguez versus Rogers in Washington. And Eduardo Rodriguez, despite that bloated ERA, is the unluckiest pitcher in baseball this year from a batting average on balls in play perspective. You got the Yankees going to Tampa Bay hasn't announced their pitcher.
Well,
And Toronto hasn't and Baltimore haven't announced their pitchers, but it doesn't matter anyway.
I think they're lined up pretty nice. Toronto's wise.
We'll see.
Toronto has to throw their best stuff. They
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
to. They have to win every game.
I mean, small. It depends on what the other teams do, but yeah. I mean, pretty much we go 4-1. We got a puncher's chance.
What? 5? You want to go 5-0? Well, now 4.
I want to go 5-0. I
You got
want to
the
go
one.
5-0.
Got the 1. Just need 4 more.
Well, guys,
starts with one.
this was fun. We can sit here and go all day just pontificating.
Yes, I know.
What's fun about all this is it's actually going to happen eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's only a week away. Like the watch party
Watch
will
party.
be Tuesday, I think. Now it depends on if there's a 3-way tie, a 4-way
Yeah,
tie.
Yeah, the
Crazy
AL
things can happen.
wild card is Tuesday, right?
Yeah, but
Yeah,
it would
I believe so.
depend on whether or not there's a tie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
I think
If
we
there
have the
was a
tiebreaker
tie-
on the Yankees.
No, I don't. I think if there's a tie, it'll be played Monday. I don't even think it would change.
No.
The tie
Played
gets-
If there's a
Monday.
2-way tie, doesn't it?
yeah,
just
if
go
it's
to
a two-way, then
tiebreaker?
that's different. Yeah, but if it's just a one-way tie, it'll be the game will be Monday,
Mhm.
the tie, and then the wild card will be Tuesday. It wouldn't change.
Well, the Red Sox own the season series in all of these, right?
Yeah, they won 10-9 against the Yankees, and I don't know if they won against Toronto, but I believe they did.
No, they have the season series against Toronto, I
Okay,
believe.
so yeah, they have the season series in both of those.
He blew too many in the beginning.
Is that the first tiebreaker if there's a 3-way tie?
Yeah,
I think there's like weird coin flips and stuff happen if it's a 3-way tie.
Coin flips are bullshit. It should be based on season series.
yeah.
There
I mean,
should
come
not
on,
be
man.
there should not be coin flips deciding playoff position.
That's
Yeah.
ridiculous. Yeah, it's not like we're talking football and who gets the ball first.
Yeah,
You don't play 100. You don't play 162 games for it to come down to a coin flip. You should have just done that in fucking April and got it over with.
Good point.
I mean,
I mean,
it's
this
shaping
is-
up to be a great race, right? I mean, we tried
Yeah.
to talk about it earlier.
Dude, the
You guys like, it's
Yankees
too
run
early, it's too
differential
early.
is terrible too.
Dude, they get so lucky.
And we're in first.
It's because they score 15 runs a game or none.
That's it,
Stan,
man.
Stan, when he's hot, man,
damage.
is it's unreal. The thing he did yesterday was crazy.
Hey, that's how we should do the NL East next year. Just a coin flip.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or
no,
pretty
East
much is a coin flip.
Maybe
It
we'll
is a
have
coin
a shot
flip.
then.
It's a coin flip division. I thought you guys were out when Okuno.
Oh
went
yeah,
there.
yeah.
Yeah,
I was like, season's over.
So did
Pack
I.
it in. That's
Yeah.
it.
Dude,
I did too.
that NL East is the most depressing division I've ever seen in my life. It is
I know.
like it is just
I thought going
No,
into the
it's
year would be one of
depressing
the
for
better
everyone
ones.
but Atlanta.
They've never
it
talked
sounds-
about realignment, have they? Like just rejigging this a little bit.
they should realign it just for the sake of it's a depressing division.
They have there is discussions possibly if Tampa decides to move to Montreal.
They wouldn't just keep them in the AL East.
Yeah, they would. Where else would they go?
They would want the 2 Canadian teams to
Okay.
be in different leagues, right?
All right.
Option.
So what?
Well,
the-
Houston
the
did.
Tampa
Houston
would
did
come
it
to the
a while
NL
back,
East.
right? Houston was in the NL West, and they went to the NL and the
Oh,
AL West.
Jesus Christ! If they do all that, man, I mean, whatever, man.
They should just expand and even it all.
It's hard
It'd be
enough for
fine.
us now.
Yeah,
I don't
right.
want Tampa to come in this division.
I
We'll
miss being in the
never win,
division
damn
with the Tigers. It was easier then.
It's kind of weird with Houston being in the West.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I mean, geographically though, there's nobody
I
else
mean, years
more west
ago,
than
Atlanta
Houston.
was in the West. Then they moved them to
That's-
the East.
Oh yeah, like in
Well,
the
that's-
90s and 80s, the
Well,
Yeah.
that's because that goes back to their days from being in Milwaukee when the
Yeah,
division was
Right.
actually
Yeah,
set.
you're right. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow, well, this is denigrating into the most boring baseball talk ever.
Yeah,
This is all hyping up next week's show. I love it.
Hey, wait. So next
Love
week would
baseball.
be The wild card
next week on how miserable it is to be a Phillies fan.
Yeah, one of us is going to be really upset. This time,
but like, let's say the Red Sox don't get in. My part will be just to instigate.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
My part will just be to instigate. It's just gonna be like who do I like least that day?
Jerseys.
Dude,
all right, whoever's winning the game, I'll wear their jersey, and then the other 10, I'll just swap it over for that.
And the NL Wild Card will be on Wednesday during our regular show. That's going to be a great game, whoever it ends up being.
Yeah, either way, that's going to be a
LA or San Francisco versus.
We'll give you updates as we're
gonna have to do some. We're gonna have to do some watch parties for sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
No muting your mic allowed though.
Yeah. AL Wild Card watch party.
We'll be fine because Kyle's Yankees won't be in it anyway. So
you gotta take that, Kyle. You gotta take that.
Must be nice playing in the NL East.
I gotta say, listen,
we got our biggest
Kyle. If you're not
Phillies and the Mets,
if you're not willing to admit that the Yankees were assisted by Judge being struck out but not struck out,
hey, listen, I agree. It was a strikeout.
That was a strikeout.
Got Joe West behind the plate, baby.
That was a strikeout.
And I knew Ottavino would mess it up because I seen him do it with the Yankees. So I knew he'll throw that hanging slider that he always throws, and it'll get crushed. Why did they walk Stanton? That's the thing. They have first base open. I would have much rather pitched to Glaber than Stanton in that situation. But I mean, it is what it is, I guess. But it was a strikeout.
Joe was a strikeout.
Joe West doing Joe West things.
Big game tomorrow.
I don't know why Stanton doesn't get walked more. I mean, you're facing Joey Gallo after. I mean, he's not really striking fear in anyone's eyes right now.
Fucking Joey Gallo, man. Those errors that they made that game too.
Oh my God. But it worked out. See, it worked out for us. I mean, those easy pop-ups, and we got the strikeout call taken back. So.
All right, guys. Time to wrap up for the night.
Yeah, that was a good 1 hour of yelling at each other.
Yeah. No, this is nothing compared to what a watch party is going to be like.
Oh, that's gonna be
insane.
And you should all join it out of the infield. And make sure you leave those likes.
It's funny, because of the title of the episode, we had a lot of bots come in and chime in with health facts and stuff.
Oh,
did you guys see that?
Yeah, we
saw no.
Yeah, we had somebody come in chime in that the vaccine
January 2021 AstraZeneca COVID vaccine procedure 2.6.8 safety related drug interactions. No interaction studies have been performed.
Amazing.
Kyrie Irving
other big words I can't pronounce with other vaccines have not been studied. Just so you know.
Over under that Robbie Ray ever has a winning record in baseball after this year.
Robbie Ray is the truth, man.
Robbie
Ray. Talking ill of Robbie Ray.
I leave. He might end up leaving.
If he goes, he goes.
Ray.
If he goes, he goes, but he'll leave with the Cy Young.
Robbie Ray. He's the kind of guy, sounds like he has a plastic pool in his front yard.
It's all right.
Well, next to the truck that's up on blocks.
The Phillies will overpay for him in the offseason, and they'll come here and suck.
Where's he from? Brentwood, Tennessee. Oh my God. He's been death in the past.
Robbie Ray.
Sounds like
he's one of the only reasons why we're still in it.
He sounds like he's from the mountains of West Virginia.
Close. Really close.
Playing a fucking violin on a rocking chair.
Yeah, the tightest pants in the league, too.
Oh, does he?
I bet he does, Leon. I bet he does.
That's why you like him so much.
Is that why you're such a big Robbie Ray?
Robbie Ray.
If he won your team a Cy Young, you'd like him too.
You are fucking in love with this man, and then you say, you make
I'm wearing my Robbie Ray jersey tomorrow.
Holy shit.
I was about to say you have
He's
a Robbie
in love
Ray
with
jersey.
him, man.
Hell yeah, I have a Robbie Ray jersey.
Leon, you should put it on right now. Put on your Robbie Ray jersey.
That's not all he has. He has a
Blue
crush
Jays
on him
pride.
too. It's not just the jersey. Look at
Kyle
him.
needs to see the jersey.
Nah,
What would you guys do if Leon pressed the
13
button right
6.
now and that whole backdrop disappeared? There's a huge shrine to Robbie Ray.
Tight pants with Robbie Ray.
Fucking Robbie Ray.
Get your chicken wings and tight pants.
2021 Cy Young winner.
There's a mural of Robbie Ray just like bathing in his plastic pool, eating chicken wings with his full-on mullet.
Robbie Ray's gas station chicken with tight pants.
Oh my God!
Robbie
Leon
Ray.
said he has the tightest pants in baseball.
He does have the tightest pants.
You should be saying that after you keep.
Maybe
you
he'll
keep
be in the wild card
It's just
game with
fact.
that.
It's just
Maybe
fact.
that's why he's pitching so well, because he can't
Oh
really
my
breathe.
God.
How is he gonna win the Cy Young with only 13 wins on the year?
Look at his peripheral stats.
Wins don't mean shit, man.
Yeah, look at
I
his other
know, but
stats. I just sent the pants T-shirt into the chat.
Robbie Ray. I remember him as a diamond.
I'm gonna buy that. That shirt goes to charity.
Oh,
Blue Jays Foundation.
my goodness.
Wife designed that.
Oh,
Amazing.
All right, guys. What a way to end on
there's
Leon's
no coming
love
back
affair
from that.
with Robbie Ray. We gotta
We'll
find
find out tomorrow how much I love him. So
I'll tell you what.
Leon. I think we're pretty clear on your love for him. It's
Oh, yeah,
it's
yeah.
deep. It's deep. I mean, to the point where you're like, man, that Robbie Ray's got the tightest pants in baseball.
no, it's like
If
he's
that's
just
your
got
argument for the
tight
Cy
pants.
Young,
No, it has nothing to do with it.
If we talk about the Cy Young, Leon's gonna be like, he's his ERA, his strikeout to walk ratio, and I gotta tell you, fellas,
Tight pants.
he's got the
Don't let your boys
tightest.
breathe.
He's got the
Robbie
tightest
Ray.
pants in the Major League Baseball.
It does.
Look at Leon. You know what I loved watching tonight was Leon peering over to the right to his screen. You guys been watching him? Well, for everyone out there, it's to the left actually. So you see him peering to the left, looking at his screen, just hoping.
No,
And you
because
see
the comments are here. That's why.
You see the reflection off his
Whoa.
spectacles.
All of a sudden, this turned into a Views After Dark.
Mhm.
Shit, we haven't done a Views After Dark in a long time.
That's
we haven't.
true.
We have
Let's
not.
wait till after the playoffs so we can get back.
Mm.
Fun though, fellas. Great stuff as always.
All right. Well, listen.
Enjoy the rest of the race.
I will. I appreciate you guys. This is always a highlight of my week, whether it gets as many views as our hat videos or not. Highlight of my week. We're building up here, and I'm enjoying it. So, guys, any last words before we wrap up?
Go
Tight
Yanks.
pants.
All right.
Go Blue Jays.
Go Blue
go tight
Jays.
pants.
Tight pants, baby.
Robbie Ray.
Tight pants, full hearts can't lose.
Boys can't
Leon,
lose.
I'm gonna. All right. Well, it's time to wrap up, guys. I don't know where to go from here. So, tight pants, Leon. How about you give us? The good old going away treatment like you usually do?
All right, guys, make sure you drop a like on the video on your way out. Subscribe to the channel. ViewsFromVault.com for official merchandise. Podcasts available on all major streaming platforms. For Jason, Pierre, Kyle, Neil, and Leon, we out, guys.